JF Stretford, Paddock, this is the Paper Talk. As you can see, I'm in the studio. It's Saturday and we're in the studio, which means it's live. So do get involved in the comments and the chat and let us know what you think about all the latest Manchester United news. We've got loads of stories to get through. We've got a couple of stories to get through. And as usual, it's the updates on Frenkie De Jong, what's the microphone, and Christian Eriksen as well. There could be something happening with both of those midfielders. We'll let you know what the update is. Please do get involved, as I said, and let us know if you've got any news for us or what you think of these moves. Are they the right moves for Manchester United? Should we be looking at other players as well? Are you a little bit concerned that we've still not made any signings yet? It seems that day by day, the confidence is waning from people I speak to about Manchester United's transfer business, especially when you see so many other clubs, some of our rivals, I'd like to call them rivals, but let's face it, they're miles ahead of us, already making moves in the transfer market as well. Let's get into it anyway. I'll get into Frenkie De Jong in a minute. I just want to give a quick update on Christian Eriksen. So there was, I think there was a report, it was doing the rounds yesterday, and it may have actually emanated from, dare I say this out loud, TalkSport. So you might want to take it with a pinch of salt. Did you hear that? I said TalkSport. About the fact that there's a growing confidence that Christian Eriksen could be choosing Manchester United. Now, I do like Christian Eriksen. I would like to see him come to Manchester United. We've spoken about it several times on this channel. It makes a lot of sense. The fact he's a free transfer is good because it frees up other funds to spend elsewhere. He had a fantastic spell at Brentford last season. 11 games he played. 7 wins out of those 11 games. He also contributed, I think, 4 assists and a goal. We know what he can do with a dead ball. We know he's cut out for the Premier League. We saw him in his cameo against United as well. It's obviously, he had his issues in the Euros where it looked like he was going to have to retire from football, but he's been fitted with the pacemaker and he's played very well and done a great job at Brentford. Now, the question is, will he come to Manchester United or Brentford? It's easy to look at it and go, well, it's easy that. United all day long, no disrespect to Brentford, but United are a much, much bigger club. But let's not forget, Brentford are the ones that took a chance on him. Brentford are the ones that said, when no one else was, come to play for us. When people were saying Christian Eriksen, some people were saying he shouldn't be playing. And they said, no, he should be playing. He should be playing for us. He's obviously settled in London as well. Feels love there. So it's not as cut and dry as just going, well, Manchester United are bigger, I'm going to go to Manchester United. And also, we don't know how often he's going to play for Manchester United. He goes to Brentford, he'll play every week. Comes to Manchester United, he might be rotated. He does know Erik Ten Hag. We do, I think it was Damesh Sheth, I think we had on the channel. I think that's going out later today, who was saying that when Eriksen first was recovering from his cardiac arrest in the Euros, he trained with Ajax. He trained with Erik Ten Hag. So there is a connection there. It's just up to the player whether he wants to come to Manchester United or stay at the club that gave him a chance. So I'm not going to spit my dummy out or be fuming if he does choose Brentford. I'll be a bit disappointed, but I get it because of the emotional attachment, shall we say, that's going on there. I'm going to get into some of the comments. Let us know what you think about Christian Eriksen. Chris, the only one, says, just be patient. Just be 5 days patient. June 30th, we will sign Frenkie. So he's quite confident there. Luke Oru says, I swear Jay is the hardest working on this channel. Thanks. There's a lot of hard-working people on this channel. I like to do the odd shift, though, now and again. You may have noticed. Go Get Red says, hello, Jay. Red UK says, morning, Jay. Stone 40 says, love United, hate Glazers. A couple of people, so say morning Jay. Ben Lewis says, we'll take both of them, better quality options than we need. Would hope to see Anthony and a forward, as I don't trust Martial as backup. Chris, the only one says, be cool. Eriksen will sign right after Frenkie. Ed C says, don't even care anymore. Don't care. Remember that from Andy Tate? Iconic. Don't care anymore. I'll tune into the first game of the season, then I'll find if we signed anyone. This hashtag interested FC BS is stressing me too much. It does feel like, doesn't it? It does feel like we're tracking, we're monitoring, we're doing everything, but buying players. Again, like I said earlier, it's not quite time for panic stations, but you look at what some of our rivals are doing, and you think, well, hang on a minute. They're doing moves, they're making signings. Manchester City have signed Erling Haaland. You look at Liverpool signed Darwin Núñez. Now, I know the one with Manchester City, they were working on it for quite some time. It wasn't just a case of the transfer window opened and they went and negotiated that straight away. They've been negotiating that for months behind the scenes, so it was ready to go when they were able to officially announce it and officially sign him. Darwin Núñez was a bit different because Benfica wanted 100 million euros, even though Jurgen Klopp said he'd never spend 100 million euros on a player when United bought Paul Pogba for around that figure. Anyway, Darwin Núñez, it was around 100 million euros, 80 million, 89 million, whatever it is, 90 million quid. Benfica wanted that. Liverpool were able to pay it, willing to pay it. Manchester United weren't. So we were never really fully in for Darwin Núñez, not to the level that we wanted anyway. Hit that like button if you're watching, by the way. Almost 1,000 people watching, 62 likes. Come on. You might not like the situation. You can like this video. Saturday morning, give us a like. Come on, you know the dance. Graham Anderson says, he says rather than 3 or 4 weeks of rumours. I mean, we've had a little bit of that, but we've still got quite a lot of the transfer window to go. GT_TG says, Jay, literally all of our rivals have strengthened already by 2 or 3 players. It is frustrating when you look at Spurs. Spurs were a team that obviously got into the Champions League, finished 4th, did well under Conte, didn't set the world alight. We were having a bit of a debate about this the other day. Joe Smith was pointing out that it's easy to praise Conte, and rightly so. His job was to get him into the top 4, and he did it. But they weren't, unbeatable. They beat City and they got a draw at Anfield. They got some big results, but they also lost quite a few games as well. It was just a case of Arsenal imploded and United were never in it. So it was, yes, Conte did a decent job, but also the teams around him fell off as well, which helped. But they brought in even Perisic. Remember him? You may remember him from such transfer rumours as 2018. Yeah, we was linked with United at one time, of course. They've brought in Yves Bissouma, a player that loosely linked with United. I don't really think that was anything other than fans rated him. And I think they're in for Jed Spence, the kid from Middlesbrough, who's on loan at Nottingham Forest. So they've done well. Now, the latest, Fabrizio Romano tweeted, I think this was last night, Arsenal and Man City have reached full verbal agreement for Gabriel Jesus. Deal in place after meeting, been told guarantees 45 million quid. That's a decent buy for them, Gabriel Jesus. Good player, won the Premier League. They haven't got many Premier League players at the Emirates, have they? So they're strengthening, and you're looking at, you go, Spurs strengthening, Arsenal started strengthening, City and Liverpool are miles ahead of us. It's not great, is it? It is a little bit frustrating. Should we get onto the De Jong latest anyway? Because I'm sure you all know the situation with our rivals. You don't need me to come on here and tell you what our rivals are doing. Ryan McCrossan says, morning, Jay. Morning. James Woods talk about Viva Ronaldo. Right, there was a report from Sport, which is an outlet, I think, in Spain, that says United are getting closer to a deal for Frenkie De Jong, or Frenkie De Jong. I keep calling him Frankie. Slip between Frenkie and Frankie. I'll get it in my head one day. Frenkie. Says the Barcelona midfielder is getting closer to United move this summer. However, there is no agreement between the clubs so far. It's also claimed that in the coming days, United and Barcelona hope to get a deal done. So it looks like there could be movement there, according to reports in Spain. Both Barcelona and Manchester United want to make it happen. It's just this bit of an impasse, isn't it? Barcelona want, I think they want what they paid for him, which is 65 million quid. And I think United are coming in a bit lower than that. I think that, I do think this deal will happen. I'm not ITK, you know me, I'm not. I just feel there's so much speculation, so much riding on it. I think if we were to walk away from it now, I think people are going to be frustrated and disappointed with Manchester United. It doesn't set a good example. It doesn't really buy into this idea that there's a new regime in charge with the likes of Richard Arnold and John Murtagh, and things are going to be different than they were under Ed Woodward. Under Ed Woodward, there were shambles. Do you remember that first transfer window? We were trying to get Ander Herrera and Sami Khedira and Fabio Contrao and all that. I mean, Marouane Fellaini, more than his buyout clause. This summer, we're nowhere near that level yet. We're only a couple of weeks in, but we need to start making moves. And if we don't get Frenkie De Jong, then we better have some backup options available as well. We better have some targets, because we don't want to be kicking around doing what we did a couple of seasons ago. Do you remember in the transfer window where it was like last deadline day madness, where you had Palestra, you had Amad Diallo, you had Edinson Cavani. It seemed like they were all done on deadline day. Edinson Cavani was that late, despite the fact he was a free agent. He couldn't play in the Newcastle game. Do you remember that one? Matri Triple X says De Jong needs to have some self-respect. Barca clearly don't want to keep him, and he's still holding on. I don't blame a player for wanting to try and prove himself, and I don't think it's down to De Jong. I think it's United haven't put the money on the table that Barcelona want. The question is, will Barcelona go, you know what, sack it, you're not budging, we'll give you I think we're going to have to do another bid. I think there's at least one more bid here from Manchester United, and I think that The question is whether that will be enough. AJ Williams, or AL Williams, sorry, says Barca want it done after 30th of June. Once they've handed this year's finances in, means they can spend far more of the De Jong fee on transfers. Notch, great to see him in the chat, says, seems with us it's always been a long-winded three-way dance between the clubs, agents and player. Last time we signed someone quick was Donny. Spot on. Donny caught us all by surprise, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? Donny was quick. You know who else was relatively quick from like looking like he was going to go to City to actually being announced by United? Was Ronaldo. Des Carpenter says we need all our signings in before pre-season. Does that concern you? Obviously, Des is making a point there. Do you worry about that? Do you think it's essential that Erik ten Hag gets his players in and is able to look at them fully at pre-season, or you're not too fussed? James Wood says, big up yourself, Jay, in the super chat. You work so hard to put out these class videos. Your 10:30 news is the highlight of my morning. Fingers crossed we get a class signing soon, pal. Thanks for some positive comments as well. I appreciate it. You know what? I do appreciate the fact that people say, you know, we work hard and we do this and we do that. I mean, you know, listen, I've had more difficult jobs than sitting here talking about Manchester United, believe me. But, you know, we do want to try and keep you guys updated every day, not just Monday to Friday, because, you know, things can happen over the weekend. Well, you know, hopefully something happens soon anyway. Sandra Note says, yeah, Ronnie different to be fair, but different circumstances. Yeah, there were different circumstances. We also had the motivation if we didn't do business quickly, City were going to get him. That's not the case. The one sort of saving grace with Frenkie De Jong seems to be, touch wood, that no one else is in for him. Now, I don't know whether that is a saving grace, actually, because that might have motivated if someone else was, but no one else is in for him, so it just looks like it's between us and Barca to sort that deal out. Whether that deal can get done sooner rather than later, we'll have to wait and see. I think Frenkie De Jong's on his holidays at the minute. We play in Bangkok, don't we, next? Is it Liverpool in Bangkok? I think I should know I'm going. In the middle of July. So you've got a few weeks yet, about 2.5 weeks, whatever it is, to try and get something done. If you want him for that game, maybe you don't. Maybe you want him for Australia. Maybe you want him for the game in Norway at the end of July. Or there's a game at Old Trafford as well. So there's games coming up that you could get him in for pre-season if that is your case. I mean, yes, it's always good to get him in earlier, but we'll have to wait and see. United Way says, morning, Jay. Hope you're well. UTFP. Go Get Red says, pre-season is for academy and fringe players to impress. De Jong doesn't fall into that category. Fair, I get that. I get you don't need to impress. Sometimes, though, it's just good for him to get into the sort of swing of things of playing for the new team, playing for the club. I know he won't have the full complement of players he's going to be playing alongside when we go to pre-season. You're right about the fact he's mainly sort of youngsters and fringe players, isn't it? But it can help if you get a bit of a decent pre-season under your belt as well. A couple of people asking about Anthony. Now, the latest with Anthony, I'll just have a quick Google. The latest of Anthony's, he's missed his first day of training, or he's missed. Yeah, this is in the MEN. It's in the mail as well. Manchester United target Anthony misses first day of training of Ajax pre-season amid transfer interest as Brazilian forward continues to push for a reunion with Erik ten Hag. Yeah, he's obviously on our list, and it looks like there could be something there. And apparently now he's missed the first day of training. Whether that's because he's, you know, packing his bags to come to Old Trafford, we'll have to wait and see. Was a 245. Welcome to the Academy. Thanks for your support. Join us in the members section. Join the members group. We have got some members content, extra content on there. You can see my pathetic attempts at fantasy football this season. Someone else saying here, Fred9897 says, Plan B, let's get Ruben Neves. Someone else was saying this. I think it was in one of the papers saying that United have got him on a list if they don't get De Jong. Now people saying he's a different type of player to De Jong, but is it that sort of side where you go, okay, if we don't get De Jong, we get Neves and we just have a slightly different type of player in there. We'll have to wait and see. Culture Witty says, Jay, the freshman putting in the solid work. Big up to you, mate. I don't drink anymore. That's over for me. Floyderman says, oh, Jay, as much as I love seeing your beautiful head, the constant transfer dross gets too much. Can't wait for new season. I understand that. I appreciate that, bro. Listen, thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Thanks to everyone who's been watching the channel. Thanks to everyone who did us a super chat as well. Much appreciate your support. As always, we'll keep you posted if we do sign anyone. If there is another bid, we will go live. We will post it on socials as well. We're always going to keep you guys in the loop. We've got another video coming out later today, a Sky Sports interview with Dharmesh Seth from Sky Sports News. He's given us the latest on De Jong, on Anthony, on defender targets as well. So check it out. It's a really good chat. Me and Ronnie sat down with him for the Tier 1 Transfer podcast. It was a good laugh as well. As always, thanks for your support. Make sure you are hitting like, sharing, and subscribe to the channel as well. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.